So earlier this week, President Trump was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. In this video, I'm going to tell you why he deserves it and why he probably won't get it. But first, I have an announcement. We hit 10,000 subscribers. Yay. Thank you very much, everybody. Now we can finally sell those shirts we've all been talking about. A lot of you guys have been asking me when we're going to sell this. The first one we're going to offer is this one here. Stay Catholic. I have several other ideas, and I think we can use these shirts as evangelistic tools, get people thinking about the Catholic Church and maybe start conversations, and then use the apologetics you learn here and other great YouTube channels like Catholic Answers and all those other guys. But I can't put it up yet. I had to get the 10,000 subscribers first, and then I submit it to YouTube and tell them what I want to do. And probably gonna take a couple days, but I'll have it like popped up like these guys have it on the bottom, and you guys can order straight through YouTube. And it's awesome. I want to thank you guys, everybody, for subscribing. I remember when I had one subscriber. A lot of you guys I remember from years. So. I was going to mention them, but then I figured I might forget a few names, but I know all you guys, if I really think about it. I can picture every name and every comment you guys have been sending over the years. But now, getting back to Trump. So earlier this week, Trump was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize because he brokered a historic deal between Israel and the UAE, United Arab Emirates. This is the first major peace deal since the 70s, when Jimmy Carter brokered a deal between Israel and Egypt, and deservedly he got a Nobel Prize for that a few years later. He was too late in the nomination process to get it that particular year. He got it years later, quite a few years later. But the way it works is the people they nominate this year will receive it if they win next year. So Trump was nominated, and you have to be somebody to nominate. It's usually professors, chancellors, politicians, someone of esteem, I guess, to nominate a Nobel Prize nominee. But there could be 200 to 300 nominees by the end of the year. They got to January 31st. And then just a group of 5 Norwegians on the Nobel committee pick. And I say Trump probably won't get it because this is a very left-leaning organization. And if you look over histories, Saint Pope John Paul II and Ronald Reagan were the 2 most important figures in ending the Cold War. Yet they never received, neither one of them received the Nobel Prize because they were both conservative. And then on the other hand, you have President Obama was literally in office a week and was nominated for the Nobel Prize and received it when he had done nothing yet. He just talked about peace. They even said that his rhetoric about peace was so encouraging that they gave him this prize. But it's not surprising to me because this is how liberal, progressives, and socialists, choose your name, they're all the same. But this is how the left, we'll just call them the left to make it simple. This is how the left decides who's good and bad, by what they say and how they say it. They vote on personality and not policy, not getting things done. So Obama said all these nice things, but he was a bigger warmonger than George Bush. He sent more troops into Afghanistan, more troops in Iraq, bombed Syria. This guy, the Defense Department, the defense contractors love this guy, and he got a Nobel Prize because he was a liberal. And again, conservatives are more logical. Liberals are more touchy-feely. That's why the old saying is still true that if you're not a liberal at 20, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you have no brain. Sorry to my liberal friends, I love you, but just look at the facts. Trump has done more for peace than any president in our lifetime, and I guarantee you he doesn't get the prize. Not only did he broker this historic deal between the UAE and Israel, I mean, they're going to open trade for the first time since Israel's been a nation, you know, since 1947. Not only that, but they're gonna work together on security. They're going to work together. Their military are going to work together, just like America works with England and Italy and Ireland and Germany. You know, this is huge. This should be 24/7 news, but it's not, obviously, because it's Trump who's credited with the great work. But not only that, that was, I think, on Wednesday. On Friday, another deal was announced that he brokered between Bahrain, another Middle Eastern country that hated Israel for all these years. Bahrain and Israel. And I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year there's several more. So Trump has been working to undo what Biden and Obama, the disaster they started in the Middle East. I mean, just giving tons of money to Iran when Iran is using that money. I mean, billions of dollars that were given to Iran, and they sided with Iran over all these other Middle Eastern countries. And Iran not only is an enemy to Israel, but they're a menace to everybody in the Middle East. Everybody in the Middle East is afraid of Iran. So Trump put the sanctions back on Iran, and he got Israel to stop building on a lot of the Palestinian territory, and this is what brokered the deal. And so there'll be many more. And not only is he making deals in the Middle East that will give us peace in the Middle East, but he's also pulling troops out of Afghanistan, Iraq. We got the lowest troop levels since 9/11 in the Middle East, thanks to Donald Trump. And he's not a Johnny-come-lately talking about this because it's election time. I remember when Bush was president, I thought Trump was a Democrat because he was constantly bashing Bush about going to Iraq. In fact, during the debates when there was like 19 Republicans on the stage in Texas, George Bush's home state, he bashed them and got booed. Him and Rand Paul were the only ones that said it was a bad decision to go into Iraq. He got booed in a Republican convention because he didn't follow the plan. He was looking like common sense. This makes no sense. And he even said it before he was president. He said, we spent $10 billion to build a school in Iraq. The terrorists blow it up. 2 weeks later, we spend another $2 billion. They blow it up. 2 weeks later, we do the same. Meanwhile, in Brooklyn, we got schools that have been dilapidated for 50 years. That's what he meant when he said put America first. He wasn't being racist. He was having common sense, you know. I don't take my hard-earned pay and take care of the kid down the street while my kids are starving. But after I feed my kids, I'll go help the kid down the street. You know, that's the American way. So, again, he deserves to get this for many reasons. And as Catholics, we pray in every Mass for peace. And if you go to daily Mass, that means 7 days a week, you're praying for peace. Well, God's heard our prayer in Donald Trump. And maybe his rhetoric don't seem peaceful, but he gets the job done. You know, don't listen for words. Look at results. If you're a manager and you got workers, you don't want to hear these guys talking and talking. You want to see them working and doing something. And this guy is getting the job done. And one of the reasons we don't have to be in the Middle East is because he's made us energy independent. We're energy independent. We export more oil than we import. So we don't need the Middle East anymore. We're helping because we're a peaceful nation and we want to see world peace. So thank God for President Trump. Vote Trump in 2020 if you believe in peace, and stay Catholic.